Lookism is a recently released Netflix adaptation of the webtoon of the same name. Webtoon adaptations up until this point haven't garnered the best reputation, to say the least. So, will Lookism be another garbage webtoon adaptation, or will we finally get a show worth watching? Oh, they're faithful as f***, boy! You already know this show is gonna be a banger! Woo! Anyways, let me be frank here. This show isn't gonna be anime of the year, but when compared to other webtoon adaptations that have released in recent years, this show is leagues ahead. Let me slow down for a minute and tell you what the show is all about. In this story, we follow Park Hyung-suk, a 17-year-old short, overweight, unattractive high school student who's relentlessly bullied and looked down upon by his peers, basically becoming the bully's errand boy / punching bag up until this point. All of this constant abuse prompts him to transfer schools, but during this process, he wakes up to miraculously find himself in a new, perfect body. But there's a catch. His old body is still there, and he swaps between the two every time he goes to sleep. This effectively gives him the opportunity to live two completely opposite lives. One where he's the bottom of the food chain, constantly tormented for being who he is, and one where he's the top of the top, effortlessly perfect in almost every regard. This causes a sense of duality and ultimately poses the question, is this power a blessing or a curse? And that's the premise of Lookism. Him having this new body puts on display the blatant discrepancy between how he's treated as someone who's ugly versus someone who's attractive. Hence the title, Lookism, meaning to discriminate against others who don't meet conventional beauty standards. In the webtoon, this concept slowly takes a backseat to all the other constant cool action scenes that are happening, but that's a topic for another video altogether. I'm glad to see Lookism being talked about though. I feel as though it's a concept that's always being indirectly discussed in anime, but it's never used as the main draw for a show. I know high schoolers fighting and action in general is ever present in anime nowadays, but adding this layer effectively creates a much more unique story. Navigating social situations from a perspective opposite to your own is nearly impossible, especially for someone who's been conditioned to dislike themselves. But this show lets that perspective shine through. It's a unique premise for a webtoon, and with how popular it's gotten over the years, it's really no surprise that it eventually got adapted. However, the problem with adapting webtoons is the length. Finding a mainstream story that has a reasonable amount of chapters is more or less a pipe dream. Lookism, for example, has 416 chapters released. Adapting this much content is just unrealistic for projects like this. The majority of the stories that have been picked up are one season and done, never to be seen again. My problem with this is that a majority of the time, these series get better as you read them. So anime-only viewers are missing out on what could be their new favorite series. The beginning of a story is never as interesting as its end, or the journey that got us there. And with stories this long, getting that whole journey adapted is just not feasible. Overall, I like what the Lookism anime has given us thus far. It's been incredibly faithful to the early chapters story-wise, and has really encapsulated what the webtoon provides. But moving forward, I'm hesitant to say that I'm excited. Netflix doesn't exactly have the best reputation for pumping out banger anime, let alone adapting source material in a digestible way. But with a good team behind it and incredible base material, anything is possible. When it comes to adaptations, webtoons have a horrendous track record, but I believe that Lookism is a diamond in the rough, and that you should really give it a chance. It's worth your time. Hey everyone, I just want to say thank you if you made it this far in the video. I really appreciate it. What do you think of Lookism so far? Do you agree that it's going to be a great adaptation, or do you think it's another miss? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. And, as always, have a great day.